Hello, Ms. Van den Broeke. I hope you're doing good. I'll try and answer your questions as good and as complete as possible. Let me know if you need any more information. I attended Colorado State University. It's a university that is located in the city of Fort Collins, which is right by the Rocky Mountains. It's about an hour and a half drive away from the capital of Denver, which is of Colorado, which is Denver. Colorado State University has an attendance of about 30,000 students, so pretty big size. And my first year I stayed in the dorms, which is required for all first year students, freshmen. And I shared a room with one of my teammates, and we had a bathroom that we shared with the room next to us, which were two teammates as well. So we lucked out, but for most of the students, they get paired up with a complete stranger and they just have to make it work for their first year. And then after the first year, you're allowed to move off campus and live wherever you want, basically, which is pretty nice. And I always tried to stay with teammates. First year I lived with one teammate. The second year I shared an apartment with a soccer player. And my last year, I rented a house with two of my friends who were on the golf team. I was there for 4 years. I studied economics with a business minor. A minor is kind of like a concentration. So I took a bunch of economics classes and credits, as well as a lot of business, accounting, marketing, management, that kind of stuff. Next question, was it expensive? Well, I had the opportunity to be on a full ride scholarship, which means I did not have to pay any of my tuition fees or even living expenses, so which was really nice. So as soon as you live off campus, you get a stipend, kind of like money every month, where you have to pay your rent, your food, clothing, and all that. So it was really nice to do that. I basically did not have to pay anything, and that's kind of the opportunity you get as athletes is they put a lot of money in athletics in America, and you get to attend school for free. And all you have to do is basically practice every day, so it's pretty nice. Next question, was college hard or easy? It depends. It starts out, the first year was pretty hard. It was challenging. Everything was new, and it takes a couple months till you find your way on campus. And what was really hard is the hard practices in combination with class. Sometimes you just do not want to go to class, or you don't have any energy to go to class, which you basically have to go because coaches will show up in your classes, make sure you're in class, and if not, oh no, it's bad news. Subjects that I took, well, I took a lot of economics classes, which I don't really know why I picked it. I just thought it was pretty interesting. But like I said, a lot of business classes, accounting, management, marketing. I took a lot of stats, math. Let's see. And then very economic specific classes, econometrics. Yeah, fun stuff. A typical day in my week. Well, let's see. The nice thing about it is every end of the semester you meet with your, it's kind of like a coordinator, and he or she tells you, oh, these are the classes you have to take next semester. And then you go online and you type in the name of the class and you see at what times it's offered that semester, and so you basically put together your own schedule. Now we had to make sure we were free from 2 till about 6 p.m. for practices, and all the other times we could build our schedule around. So usually I made sure I started about class around 10, and then I went all the way till 2, and then went to practice, and every now and then I had an evening class, which is just horrible, but I always made it work. I'd make sure last semester I made sure I had all my classes on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, so I did not have any classes on Tuesdays and Thursdays. I also really like taking online classes, so everything's online. You basically do it at your own pace, but you have to take these exams in a time frame. So let's say the professor would tell you, well, here's the material, you take the exam in week 12, and so you had to make an appointment with an exam center and had to make sure you knew the material on your own and pass the exam. I really like that because you can basically do all that while you're laying down in your bed, and you did not have to show up in class, so that was really nice for me. My English was pretty good before I left for my freshman year. We had to take a lot of, the SAT test, the TOEFL test, which, they prepared you for it, but then once you get there, I struggled a little bit, especially on the phone. It was really hard to understand people, and so what I used to do was when somebody called me and I didn't know the number, I would just give it to my teammate, and it's like, hey, just pick up, pretend you're me, and tell me what's going on because I won't understand anything. But that went away pretty easily. I also had my sister my first year, which was pretty nice. She kind of showed me around and helped me out with the little things she struggled with. So yeah, I learned a lot, definitely. I think just writing a lot. In college, they just give you so many writing assignments, so many papers, and I did not feel prepared for those all the time. It was really hard for me to write a paper, but then I had to write, in my last year I had to write, like a capstone, which is like a final essay for some of my classes. I had to write research papers, and I could tell I got a lot better towards the end of my career than in the beginning. It was really a struggle. Belgium is actually pretty known in the United States. Well, first and foremost, we're known for our waffles. Everybody wants to eat Belgian waffles, which I didn't know it was that kind of big deal, but everywhere we would go to have breakfast or just lunch, they would sell Belgian waffles, real Belgian waffles, and people would get them. I'm like, this is nothing like a Belgian waffle. So a couple days ago, I had 2 of my friends come over. They're touring around with their backpacks in Europe, and they started off in Belgium. So I showed them around, and I let them try a real Belgian waffle, and they were just mind blown. They really liked it, and they said they're nothing like those real Belgian waffles they sell in the United States. Secondly, we're pretty famous for our chocolate and our beer, especially our beer, I would say. They think Belgium has the best beer in the world, most of them. So I don't know, I'm not really a beer drinker, but I'll try it every now and then. I guess we're pretty good. Was it easy to make new friends? Actually, yeah, that wasn't a problem for me. I'm kind of bubbly as I am. Just my personality, I'm pretty easygoing, but as an athlete, you arrive and you just immediately are picked up in that little atmosphere, in the little athlete group, and you make friends so easily with not only your teammates but with other athletes. It's a very protected environment, and you see athletes everywhere, around the practice facilities, the training room, the gym, weight room, just academic center, which is a center that's it's kind of like a huge library with computers, but it's just for athletes. So we're spending a lot of time together. and you make friends very easily, especially in the dorms. You're living together. I mean, it's just you see each other everywhere, and you go eat in the dorms. You just see the same faces everywhere you go, so it's pretty easy to make friends, I would say. What did I do in my spare time? Well, obviously I hang out with friends a lot. What I really like to do was going to the movies, because I believe here going to the movies, it's basically about, I don't know, if you go with one friend and you're in the paying, it's like a 20 euro bill. But they're going to the movies as a student, I maybe paid $5 for a movie, which is not even €5. So, and I really like doing that. So I went to the movies every week. It was so cheap. They had the newest movies that did not come out for another month in Europe, so it's like I felt like I was ahead of everybody else. I did attend a lot of parties. It is way different than partying in Belgium, with the drinking age not being the same, so you have to be 21 to even get into a bar. They're very strict in the United States, so what a lot of college students do is just throw a house party. I never did that in my own house because you have to deal with all the trash at the end, but you would just go to somebody's house and show up. You didn't even have to know the people in the house. It's basically you get a text message like, oh, here's the address, show up, have fun. And it's really different, but it gets boring, I was always being able to go to a bar and grab a drink here and then go to the United States and not even being able to get in the bar with my older teammates. It got pretty boring at the end. But when you do turn 21, it's a lot of fun. They basically have an old town, which is just a street with little bars and little clubs, and you just show your ID, you're old enough, you get in, and yeah. But there's a lot of people around with fake IDs, and they actually get in a lot of trouble once they do get caught. And it's just the security is crazy. You will not get a drink, or you will not get into a bar if you're not 21, which is just crazy to think. I think I ordered a drink here when I was 14 years old. It's just different. You do see that, college students, they usually are, at home till they're 18, and then they go to college, and you see a lot of, girls and guys just, party every weekend, and I mean, they just drink a lot, and it's just, it's a different mentality, I would say. Let's see, what's the next question? If I was homesick, you know what was really weird? I wasn't homesick in the beginning at all. It was my parents who texted me or called me on Skype. Were like, hey, like, how are you doing? I haven't heard you in a while. And then as you grow older, it actually got worse for me. My last year, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm really looking forward to go home now, or Mom, I miss you, or Dad, I wish I was home with everybody else now. For me, it got harder towards the end, for sure. I don't know why that was, but in the start, I think everything was new and so exciting, and I was with my friends all the time, so I would just not have time to call home, I guess. What did you have to adjust to the most? Let's see. I think to the food, for sure. The food in America is just way different, and it took me the hard way to learn. When you go to a restaurant and you order, the portion size is just 10 times bigger, and so I always learned at home to finish my plate, and I try to do that, and and then in the dorms you just have to swipe, and you have access to all foods possible. A lot of Mexican food, which was new for me, but fried food and fried chicken and fried everything, and then you know, it was pretty greasy too. So when we started workouts, I wasn't in the greatest shape. So, you know, I had to find out the hard way that you gotta be very careful in America to what you're eating and how much you're eating, because it's very easy to just overeat. As well as, for example, when you order a drink, let's say Diet Coke or whatever, when it's empty, you get free refills, unlimited. So you actually pay for a drink one time, and they keep filling it up till you're done eating, till you don't need anything anymore. But you only pay for one drink, so it's very easy to just drink 5 Cokes in one meal, and then you're like, you only have to pay $1.50. So it's like you kind of have to manage what you're eating, how much you're eating and drinking. That was definitely an adjustment I had to make. So I was in shape for workouts and stuff, that's for sure. Something else I had to adjust to, let's see, well, I would just say language barrier at the beginning. You know, one funny thing is cussing is completely inappropriate. So I know even in Dutch we use a lot of F words and S words and all that. It's so inappropriate to use it in front of adults in America. So they would always tell me, like, you can't say that, you can't say that. But for me, it was like, what's the deal? You know, but I really realized how bad these words actually are. And so around little kids, it's completely inappropriate. Around parents or just, you know, coaches and that kind of stuff. So when you would listen to the radio, all the bad words are just beeped out, which is really funny, because now I'm here listening to the radio and all these songs have all these bad words in it, and I'm like, geez, I guess I never really paid attention to it, to these words till I experienced just like people telling me, like, hey, you can't say those words, like those are really bad words. Or, you know, just I would use them around my friends, and my friends would use them totally fine. But once their parents were around, they had like this little switch thingy that they said, okay, no more cuss words. So this is really something I had to adjust to, like, oh, I can't say these words, or, you know, I gotta tone it down a little bit. I would definitely recommend this experience to many others. It wasn't what I expected it to be or what I thought it would be. I thought you know, the main reason why I did this was to play basketball, but you know, looking back to it, I got so much more out of it. I got all these friendships, I got a degree, I got just like so much experience. I met so many awesome people that I'm like, oh, like I could go travel to Texas or to New York or anywhere in the United States, and I could know some people that live there. So it's just so awesome that the people you meet, and I got an awesome degree. You know, it's so much more than just the basketball aspect. And so if you would have asked me in the start, like, yeah, I'm doing this to play basketball for sure, I think I got so much more out of it. You know, I had a lot of ups and downs, battled a lot of injuries and stuff, and so basketball wasn't always there for me. But then I remembered, oh, like I'm still getting my degree. I'm still having so many friends around me, and it's just, I feel like as a person I grew a lot. And, you know, just even living on your own, making sure you have your, you know, your food ready and cooked, and you get all your work done, do your own laundry, you know, it's just the little things. I think it's a great experience, and for everybody. It's hard to get away from home, and now I got a little taste of it, and now I'm back living at home, and I'm like, geez, this is just completely different. What qualities do you need in order to make this move a success? I would say you gotta be open to everything, and be willing to try new things. Gotta get out of your little comfort zone a little bit. Definitely, at the start, I was like, oh, no, I'm not gonna do this or not gonna do that. And, you know, people just look at you like, oh, let's go, let's just do this. And it's just fun to experience new things, and to be a part of something bigger. What advice would I give people? That's hard, but I would always say just stay true to yourself. You're gonna meet, if you decide to go to college in a different country, you're gonna meet so many people, and some will be a good experience in your life, some will not be a good experience in your life. It's just really about finding your own way, and finding friends, and just try new things. I think it's gonna make you grow as a person, and I just feel it made me so much more independent. I feel like I can, you know, just go about anywhere in the world and just make something work. I just think as long as you stay yourself, and you just do what you believe in and what you're saying, never do something that you don't want to do. No, I think definitely you have to be open and willing to try new things. At the same time, don't just be yourself, and it'll be great. Thank you.